back to my channel. I am so happy you're here. Welcome to another weekly vlog. It is currently Saturday, it's almost 5 p.m. so I'm about to leave for my heels class, but tomorrow I'm gonna see the Life of a Showgirl movie, and then next week I'm off work, so I thought I'd take you along with me for the next couple of days.
Let's go. On count of 3.
Some fall reading. I have a few cozy fall books on my TBR. I have started a book today. I had 2 books on Kindle Unlimited that were fall themed. One of them I've seen on social media, that's why I got it, but the other one I just got because of the cover, because it was really cute and fall themed, but I didn't know anything about it going into it, and it definitely wasn't what I was expecting. I thought it would just be a cute small town romance. It kind of is. But I started reading A Pack for Autumn by Amelia Emerson. I am on page 106, so I'm 32% into it, and I do have to say I am really flying through it. It is really corny and very, very spicy. It's a Omegaverse book. I don't usually read that. I think I've never read an Omegaverse book, so at first I was kind of confused, but I think I'm slowly getting it. But A Pack for Autumn follows Olive. Her full name is Olive Autumn Harvest. That's how corny this book is. But she moves to this small coastal town called Starlight Grove, and she starts a new job there as a lighthouse keeper. She took this job to kind of be by herself and not be around other people, but her move doesn't really go according to plan because the town is really, really active. It kind of reminds me of Gilmore Girls just because of the town dynamics, but I think pretty much all of the books that are set in small towns have that dynamic. But the town that she now lives in gets a funding to restore the lighthouse she works at and lives in, and in order to do that she has to let a contractor team into her house, which is something she really struggles with. But that contractor team turns out to be 3 alphas from that small town. They're Easton, Lars, and Finn. They all have very different personalities, but they're a alpha pack, kind of like a family, I guess. As you can tell, I'm really new to this whole Omegaverse thing. I pretty much don't know anything about it. But this book is definitely not a slow burn, and there's a lot of spice. If you don't like spice, definitely don't pick up this book. The beginning was really cozy and you just had that small town feeling, but things picked up pretty fast. And now it's basically just smut. So I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. I do really like the characters and the town that this is set in, but it is also a lot when you're not used to those types of stories. I've been back home for a few hours. I'm gonna lock in now and read some more of my book. I'm on page 124, and I would like to read at least like 100 pages tonight. I'm so glad I went to my dance class tonight. I wasn't in the mood at all. It's been raining all day. It's been so stormy and gloomy. I didn't want to leave my house, but I'm so glad I went. I had so much fun, and dancing always helps me so much mentally, so I'm in a good mood. But for my book, I am not a big fan of insta-love, and that is very much what's happening in this book. Especially Easton, who's one of the three alphas, was obsessed with Olive before he even really talked to her. Also, the two other alphas, all three of them are pretty much already in love with Olive, and I don't like that. My camera is slowly falling. I'm not sure if that's just a thing in Omegaverse books, because apparently they are attracted to each other based on their scents. So there's like a scent bonding type of thing. So I'm not really sure if through that scent of Olive, they know that they're each other's mates or whatever it's called. So maybe that's why it's so insta-love, but I'm still struggling with that. I think it's not gonna be the best book ever, but it's entertaining, so I'm not gonna DNF it. Olive says, I wish that I could have loved young Easton. I would just have to love him now. My heart skipped a beat. Did I love Easton? And on the same page, Easton says, we're going to have forever together, so I can't wait until you're ready. They've known each other for about a week. I'm sorry? I'm pretty sure that that's a red flag. Like, maybe it's just me not knowing anything about Omegaverse books. Maybe that's something totally normal and I'm in the wrong here, but that just sounds like a very toxic start to the relationship. But we do love men who go to therapy, and apparently Easton does. So that gives him a few plus points. Happy Sunday. It is almost 1 p.m. already. I had a very slow morning. I stayed in bed for quite a while this morning and I finished A Pack for Autumn. I'm gonna rate it 2.5 stars. It wasn't a bad book, but I think it was just not for me because there was a lot of smut. A little bit too much for me personally. I did like the other aspects of the story. I liked the found family aspect. I liked all of the characters in the small town, and also the princess treatment Olive got by the three alphas. If the smut weren't the main focus of the book, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But if you enjoy reading that, it's definitely a fun read. As I already mentioned, I'm gonna go see The Life of a Showgirl movie with my friend later tonight. I have to leave at around 4:30 for that, but right now I'm gonna do my nails. I think I'm just gonna do a dark red for fall, so that's gonna take a while. And if I still have time after I finish my nails before I have to leave, I'm gonna start a new book. I'm gonna start Falling Like Leaves by Misty Wilson. This was honestly just a cover buy, but it's really cute and it has a gazebo on it, which always reminds me of Gilmore Girls. I feel like that's just a thing that I compare every fall or small town book to Gilmore Girls. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention for A Pack for Autumn. I wish it would have had more fall themed stuff or fall vibes. There was a harvest festival and there were a lot of like stormy nights where they were cuddled in with a fire on. So it was cozy, but not really fall themed. I expected a little more of that based on the cover, but I'm optimistic that this is gonna give more fall vibes. I am done with my nails. I did this dark red color. They're a lot longer than I usually do them, but I think I like it. I just have to get used to it. I have a little less than an hour left before I have to leave. So we're gonna start our book. This is about Alice, who moves from New York to this small town called Bramble Falls in Connecticut after her parents separate. I'm not sure if she lived in this town as a child, because apparently she reconnects with her childhood best friend Cooper, who was also her first kiss. but he seems to really resent her and she doesn't know why. And there's this fall festival called Falling Leaves Festival in a small town, and Alice keeps getting dragged into those fall activities. So I'm hoping that this book is gonna feel like fall, because the last one I read didn't. So I think it's a childhood best friends to lovers trope. So it does sound cute and I'm excited to start it. Read the first chapter and I don't know why, but I didn't realize that this was YA because Alice, our main character, is still in high school. I didn't know that, but it makes sense that she has to move with her mom because of that. And we also learned that Alice's aunt and cousin live in Bramble Falls, so she probably was in Bramble Falls when she was younger a lot because of them, at least I'm assuming. As you probably know, I'm not the biggest fan of YA because I have a hard time relating to the characters, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna think about this, but I'm just gonna keep reading. I'm back home. It was really fun. I wish we would have gotten a bit more behind the scenes content, because I feel like it was basically just the music video and the behind the scenes of that, and then just the lyrics videos. I mean, I still enjoyed it and it made me like the album a lot more. I'm now in a mood to listen to it more often, but I mean, considering that she wrote this album during the Eras tour, I'm sure that that was just not possible to also do a behind the scenes of creating the album, if that makes sense. But I'm very happy to have seen it, and I'm not really sure what to do now. I'm not gonna vlog tomorrow because I'm gonna do a 12-hour readathon with one of my best friends, and I'm gonna do a separate video for that. So I'm gonna pause reading Falling Like Leaves and continue that on Tuesday. But I'm not really sure if I want to read some more now or if I want to do something else, because I'm gonna be reading all day tomorrow. So I don't want to burn myself out and not be in a mood to read tomorrow. So maybe I'm gonna do some crafts and watch some YouTube or some more of Only Murders in the Building. I've been building the miniature set you've seen 100 of times at this point for months, and I'm thinking of finally finishing it. I only have a couple of more steps left to do, so it shouldn't take too long and then I'm finally done. I don't know why it's been taking me so long to finish this, because it is something that is really fun to me. So I don't know, but I think I'm gonna do that. And I'm not gonna go to bed too late tonight, so I can wake up bright and early tomorrow morning to start my readathon. And I'm really excited, especially because I've never done a readathon with a friend. I've always done them by myself, and she lives pretty much on the other side of the country, so we're not gonna physically do it together, but we're gonna be on Discord all day and just chat about the books we're reading. Good morning and happy Tuesday. It is 9:30. I'm about to leave to get my hair done. I'm so excited because my hair looks so bad. Like, it's fully grown out at this point. I'm gonna be there for a couple of hours, so I definitely have to take a book with me. I didn't read any more of Falling Like Leaves yesterday during my readathon, but this is not available on Libby or KU, and I don't really want to read a physical book while getting my hair done. So I checked the rest of my fall TBR to see if there's any book that's available, and there is. I'm gonna start reading A Cinnamon Falls Mystery by R.L. Gilmore. It's a cozy mystery. Good morning, it is the next day. I got my hair done yesterday. I did it a lot darker than the last time, but I do really like it. I had such a bad mental health day yesterday. I was pretty much crying for the whole day. There wasn't really a reason, but I'm feeling better today. I do have to run some errands. I have to go to my doctor's office to get a prescription for my antidepressants. I've run out of them on Sunday and it's now Wednesday. So that's probably why my mental health isn't really mental healthing right now. I definitely have to pick up that prescription and I hope that I will get them at the pharmacy immediately today. And I also want to get some groceries. And that's it, I think. I would like to film some content today and edit some stuff. But we're gonna see how I feel. I know that distracting myself when I feel that way does help, but I don't want to overwhelm myself at the same time. So I'm gonna take it slow. I don't really have a lot of writing updates. I read like 10 pages of a cinnamon falls mystery while getting my hair done yesterday. And I also haven't read any more of Falling Like Leaves. I have to wait until 10 a.m. until I can leave because my friend and I are gonna try to get some tickets for Louis next year. Hopefully we're gonna get some. I mean, I do definitely feel better mentally today, but I feel really drained physically because of all of the crying last night. So my head hurts and my face feels so swollen. I'm not feeling my best. But I want to keep my content real. I've always shared my mental health online since I started posting on social media because I don't think it's a bad thing. And if I can help even one person feeling understood, that's worth it for me to go out of my comfort zone and share how I feel. So yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna plan out my week and some content and stuff like that until it's 10 a.m. Then I'm gonna try to get the tickets and then I'm gonna leave to run my errands. It's almost 3 p.m. so it's a couple of hours later. I'm finally home. We did get tickets for Louis, so I'm very excited for that. And then I left to go drive to my doctor's office and I wanted to get my meds from my GP because that's only like a 5-minute drive from my house. But apparently they're on vacation this week. So I had a complete mental breakdown, but then I got some groceries. And one of the things I struggle with is social anxiety, and especially when I'm not on my meds, it's a big problem. And I hate calling people, but especially when I feel that way, I just cannot do it. So my boyfriend was kind enough to call my psychiatrist. But he tried calling them like 15 times and he didn't get through. But about 2 hours ago, he finally did and I was able to pick up my meds. But I have to drive like half an hour to my psychiatrist's office. So it took me like 1.5 hours in total to finally get my meds. But now I'm back home. I'm gonna put my groceries away now. And then clean up my apartment and then film some content and then finally read. It is 8 p.m. I'm gonna stop working now. I did manage to film and edit a lot of content. I didn't do everything I planned on doing, but I'm still happy that I got so much done. But my cousin and I are gonna go on a little trip tomorrow. We're gonna drive to this pumpkin festival. It's supposed to be the biggest one in the whole world, which is so crazy. I've been there a couple of years ago, but we're gonna go there tomorrow and the drive is like almost 2 hours. So I thought I'd bake something for us. So I think I'm quickly gonna make some muffins, maybe. And I just checked Spotify and Falling Like Leaves is available as an audiobook on Spotify and I luckily still have listening hours for this month. So I'm gonna listen to some more of Falling Like Leaves while baking. Good morning. I have to leave in like 5 minutes, but I wanted to give you an update before I leave. I'm on chapter 25, so page 220 of Falling Like Leaves. Jake, who's one of the characters in this book, is a Swiftie. So Taylor has been mentioned like 5 times, and that makes me so happy. This book definitely screams fall. Like, it's a very fun fall read, and the characters are doing tons of fall activities, so that is really fun. And I do like it. It's a very sweet book. It's just that it's YA. I feel like I just can't relate to the characters anymore and to their problems. They're all very innocent, which, like I said, is very sweet, but like they get embarrassed when somebody uses the word condom. And their biggest problem is their finals coming up and stuff like that, and like those are obviously problems that teenagers have, but I just cannot relate to that anymore. So yeah, but other than that, it's a very cute book and I'm enjoying it. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it tonight depending on when we get back, but I definitely have to get ready to leave now. And I'm very excited. Hopefully it's not gonna rain. We're crossing our fingers that the weather is gonna hold up. Some episodes of Only Murders in the Building for the past 2 hours, but I think I'm gonna make myself some dinner now. We honestly had so much fun today. I also got some things, so I'm gonna give you a tiny haul. I did think about getting a pumpkin to make some pumpkin soup, but I have planned out all of my meals for the next week, so I think I'm just gonna get one at the supermarket when I plan on making soup. But I did get these little ghosts. They both have pumpkins on them. I think they're so cute. And then I also got a little ghost candle holder. I'm obsessed with all 3 of them. And then I also got a package when I got home. This was also a book that I put on my October TBR, but I had to order it because I didn't own it. But the book I got is Cat Dragon by Samantha Birch. I'm obsessed with the cover. I think it will be a very cute and cozy book. I'm on chapter 28, so page 247 of Falling Like Leaves. I think I have under 100 pages left, so I'm definitely gonna keep listening to it while making dinner. Falling Like Leaves last night, and I think I'm gonna rate it 4 stars. I know I said that I don't like YA, and that's still true, but putting that aside, this was a really good book. It had the best fall vibes. I think I've never read a book that had so many fun fall activities in it, and just the descriptions of the small town decorated for fall and all of that stuff. It was perfection. The love story was also very cute. I mean, you do have to keep in mind that they're teenagers, there's no spice, and it's just a high school relationship, but I still feel like they had pretty good tension, and it was just very sweet. So I can definitely recommend this even if you're not a big fan of YA. And then I started reading A Cinnamon Falls Mystery on Tuesday, but I think I mentioned that I only read like 10 pages. So I started it again last night, and I listened to a lot of it on audio, but then I just ran out of Spotify listening hours. It's so annoying that you only get 12 hours per month, and it's so expensive to get more hours. I think for like 12 more hours you have to pay like $10. And that's insane. So I'm definitely not gonna do that. I mean, I do have a physical copy, so I can just read it physically, but I'm cleaning my apartment right now, so it was just really fun to listen to it while doing that. But I'm on chapter 15, so page 193. So I'm a little over halfway through and I'm really enjoying this. A lot of people said that this was like a copy of the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore Pumpkin Spice Cafe books. And I mean, sure, the cover is pretty similar and the design of the map in the front is also pretty much the same, but the book itself doesn't have any similarities to that other series, so I don't get the hate. Like, I didn't see a lot of hate, but I feel like there were a lot of people that said that R.L. Gilmore copied Laurie Gilmore. But I've also seen some theories that this is Laurie Gilmore's pen name for mysteries. That would make sense, actually. But I've been having a great time reading this. This follows Nia, and she found out that her boyfriend of 2 years had a wife of 4 years, so she was the affair. And after finding that out, she leaves the city and moves back to the small town that she grew up in and that her parents still live in, called Cinnamon Falls, hence the title. And when she arrives, the people in this town are preparing for their annual fall festival. But just a few days after arriving, a body is found in the local diner with a note saying who will be next. So it seems that there will be a serial killer in Cinnamon Falls. And it's this really quiet and cozy town, so nothing like that has ever happened before. And now Nia is trying to figure out what happened, and she's kind of starting to work with Jesse, who's her high school ex-boyfriend, and he's also a police officer, but because of the personal relationship he had to the victim, he got taken off the case. So they start to try to solve what happened. On the back it says, "This small town murder mystery with a romantic twist is perfect for fans of Gilmore Girls, Pretty Little Liars, and Cinnamon Buns." That is really true. And I've never seen a book compared to Pretty Little Liars. That's actually very fun. I finally got a microphone for my camera. Hopefully you can hear a difference because it was expensive. But I hated the audio quality of my videos, so I really wanted to get a microphone. But I am on page 295 of A Cinnamon Falls Mystery, so I'm 75% into the book. And I'm gonna finish it now. I'm gonna sit down and just read the last 100 pages. I'm still enjoying it. My only complaint is the love story. I feel like that's a problem in a lot of cozy mysteries. I feel like authors just throw a romance plot in those books to have one. And in most cases, it's not really needed in my opinion, because as I mentioned, Nia is kind of talking to her high school ex-boyfriend, Jesse, and that whole side plot with the two of them is kind of weird. It doesn't really make any sense because they haven't seen each other in 6 years, but they act like they're still in a relationship. Like, they get really mad at each other for like talking to other people and stuff like that. And that just doesn't make any sense because they haven't been with each other in 6 years. But other than that, I'm really enjoying it. I mean, of course, it's a cozy mystery, so it's pretty unrealistic. And the stuff the characters do in order to solve the murder are just really stupid. But it's a book, so it's really fun. I just finished reading A Cinnamon Falls Mystery and I loved it. I'm gonna rate it 4 stars. This was such a cozy read and it put me in such a good mood, even though it was a murder mystery, but it wasn't a dark book. It definitely had a lot of cliches and was just really kitschy, but that's what made the story so cozy and fun. The mystery aspect of this book was definitely really interesting. It was a little predictable, but it was still really fun to read about. The romance plot of this definitely wasn't my favorite, as I mentioned before. The relationship was definitely very believable and I could see the two characters being together, but I feel like we would have needed a bit more about them and about getting back together and getting to know each other again, because they haven't seen each other in 6 years. So the way they acted with each other felt a little sudden or unbelievable after being apart for so long. So I wish we would have gotten a little more about that, but other than that, everything about this was perfect. I had such a good time reading this and I'm definitely gonna pick up more books by this author. This is gonna be a series. The next 2 books are coming out in spring and autumn of 2026 and they're called Death at Daffodil Inn and The Berry Bakery Murder. And I'm pretty sure that these are not the official covers, but apparently they're spring themed and then another fall themed book. So I'm very excited for that. I'm definitely gonna pick those up. But that's it for this video. I had such a fun week and all of the activities I did and the books I read put me in the biggest fall mood. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye!